stay here another minute.
But Mother, why are you leaving us?
Because I'm displeased. Immensely displeased. Dummy who isn't here, we don't have anybody. Is that you?
Yeah, is that really Grandmother?
Really, Grandmother, with the way you scold all of us, you might as well be Tartuffe.
Dear Tartuffe, if you really knew why I've lost my patience with a lot of you, it's because of the way you treat him here. Dreadful! It's more than I can endure. For if you only knew it, the man's a saint.
A saint? I like that.
Him a saint? That's a good one. Really, Mother.
Marianne, who's not here. Granny, how can you?
Madame Pinelli, I must protest.
I tell you, a saint, near saint of any, as near a saint as any of us are likely to meet the others this side of heaven.
No, Grandmother, that's too much.
Don't shout at me.
I'm sorry, Grandmother. I beg your pardon, but, Grandmother, you don't have to live in this house. After all, it's only a short while ago Father first introduced him into the house. Then, for a while, he came here all day, every day. And now, he's moved in and orders us all about.
If we were to listen to him and believe him, we would think everything we did was
If
wicked.
he sees fault, as that girl puts it, he sees what's here. If only you could appreciate even a little of the truth that's in him.
Well, I hate him! I hate him! I hate the sight of him!
Debbie!
I can tell you what's going to happen. I and that holy man are going to have a most unholy row.
When he first came here, his dirty toes were poking out at the ends of his shoes, and his old clothes were filthy and stinking. And now, fine clothes, the best bedroom, waited on hand and foot, and interfering with everything from morning till night.
And you'll be the better for it. All of you.
You may think he's a saint, Madame, but I think he's a disgusting old hypocrite.
What ignorance!
And I think he's interested in the missus here. Doreen!
Elmire! How can you allow it?
Really, Miss Pinelli, you're speaking of my sister.
But people talk.
But, madam, you can't stop people from talking. A gossip is a gossip, and will always find a matter to gossip upon, even if most of it has to be invented. So all we can do is get on with our lives as full and happy and useful as we can make them, and leave the talkers to talk.
Oh, very fine, Mr. Lay Down the Law. But my son never did anything more foreseen than to take this man of God into the bosom of his family. See, my car is ready for me.
I'm afraid she'll have to climb into that limousine without my assistance.
Mr. Cleante, the boss used to be such a sensible gentleman. But ever since he brought this Tartuffe home with him, he's gone clean out of his mind. Calls him brother, and pays more attention to him than he does to his own wife or to his children. The boss is a complete fool over this Tartuffe.
Cleante, a happy surprise. But, just a moment, Doreen,
Yes, sir.
what's been happening? How are they all?
Well, while you were away, the missus was feverish from morning till night.
And Tartuffe?
Tartuffe, getting redder and fatter by the day.
Poor man.
I'll go tell the missus how overwhelmed you are at her recovery.
You know, I don't like that girl's manner. She used to be so sensible. She's changed.
She was being very impertinent.
Impertinent? So she was. But have you any idea?
You said she's changed, but I wonder, which of you has changed the most?
What's that?
We're agreed she was being impertinent, but forgive me, Oregon, hasn't she at least had some excuse
Excuse? Explain yourself.
about this man Tartuffe?
Continue, if you please.
Surely you've done enough for him. You've rescued him from want, you've taken him into your home, but to neglect not only your dearest friends, but your own family.
That's enough! I'm sorry, but I don't wish to hear any more. You don't know the man of whom you speak, for if you did, as I know him, you wouldn't be speaking in such a manner. Oh no.
I would.
You would? Yes. Since I met Tartuffe, I've become a changed man. He has shown me how without value are our dearest possessions, and now I could see my mother, wife, and daughter die and not care that.
Indeed.
Oh, my dear.
Father.
My dear,
Yes, Father?
I,
Well, what is it, Father?
Something is the matter.
not exactly, not exactly. My dear.
Now, Father.
Yes, my dear, you've always been my favorite.
Thank you, Father. I'm sure I'm very happy to hear you say that.
I hope you'll always be willing to do what I say.
But of course.
That's very sensible indeed. What do you think of our guest?
Our guest?
My dear, we only have one guest in the house. I'm speaking of Tartuffe.
Yes, Father.
What do you think of him?
Father, I'll say anything you like.
That's very sensible indeed. Say that he's a man that you respect and admire, and that you would love and that you love him, and that you would love for me to choose him to be your husband.
You want me to say that I love Tartuffe and would be pleased to have him as my husband?
Exactly.
But, Father, why should you wish me to tell such terrible lies?
Lies, but I wish it to be true. I wish it.
Tell him that you married. Tell him that you married to please yourself and not him. And if he's so much in love with his Tartuffe, he should marry him himself.
But
Nothing and nobody would ever make me marry that pig of a man.
But Doreen, he could force me to do it.
Listen, do you love Valère or don't you?
You know I love him desperately.
And he loves you desperately?
Well, I think so.
You think, you only think, you don't know?
Oh, yes. Yes, I do. I know he loves me desperately.
And now, what are you going to do about this other one?
Kill myself!
Splendid, splendid.
Oh, Doreen, please!
You must make up your mind to it. You must be Tartuffed.
Marianne,
Here comes your lover.
I just heard a nice thing.
What?
You're going to marry Tartuffe?
Father just told me.
And what are you going to do about it?
I don't know!
You don't know? Well, that's frank anyway.
Well, what can I do?
You ask me?
Yes.
Well, if you can stand there and ask me, I think you should marry Tartuffe.
Love, you tell me that I ought to accept the husband my father has chosen for me? And I intend to do so, since that's how you feel.
Never mind my feelings.
If that's what you think.
Never mind what I think. And don't worry your head about me.
And why should I?
If you're so eager to get rid of me, I'll go.
I'm not stopping you.
You know you're driving me away. Everything like you want it. We'll never see each other again. I thought you said something.
I said nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Do you mean you said nothing? Or you didn't say anything?
I said nothing. I mean, I didn't say anything.
I see. I thought I heard you.
No.
Then I'll go. Goodbye, Marianne.
Goodbye, Valère.
You couple of fools.
Doreen, let me go! If she wants me to go, then I'll go.
No, you don't. You stop here.
Take your hands off me, Doreen.
Now listen to me. You two love one another even more than you think. The only thing now is how to prevent the wedding. This won't be easy because your father's gone off his rocker about Tartuffe. And meanwhile, you two shouldn't be seen together.
Au revoir, Marianne. I love you.
And I love you.
Oh, for pity's sake. I've never seen such fools in all my life. I'll tell you what we've planned. I'll tell you what we've planned. Your stepmother has asked Tartuffe to come down and see her about this marriage of his to Marianne.
Tell me this page. Oh no. How about guys?
She's going to find out what he really feels about it himself.
I'll kill him! I'll kill him! I'll kill him!
Can I do something for you?
I have a message for you.
Madame, what message?
The mistress is going to come down and she's requested a few moments of private conversation with you.
Indeed, most willingly.
Mm-hmm.
Madame, this is indeed a pleasure, unexpected, and indeed more than a pleasure, an honor.
Yes, I wanted to have a few words with you, alone.
Another of my constant prayers was to find myself alone with you, but until now it has not been granted.
Oh, I know. I know how concerned you are on my behalf.
Concerned, dear lady, so much more than concerned. Zealous, passionately zealous.
Please, you're hurting my hand. Tartuffe, my hand. Tartuffe, your hand.
Soft and lovely, soft and lovely.
I beg your pardon.
The material of your gown.
Oh, the material. Yes.
What workmanship, what skill. Can you imagine anything more perfect?
Tartuffe, please. I'm very sensitive.
Sensitive, but of course, of course.
Well, I mean, ticklish. And anyhow, I told you I want to ask you a few questions. And I know, you know, of course, that Marianne has been engaged to Valera. My husband agreed, and the wedding date was set. And now I'm told you are to marry Marianne. Is this true?
He did just mention it.
And when he mentioned it, what were your feelings?
All my feelings, my longings, my hopes are directed elsewhere.
Of course, I know.
You know!
They are all directed heavenwards.
Yes, true enough, but I have human feelings.
You have made it clear to all of us that your concern is for spiritual things and not human feelings.
Why, yes, of course. At first I prayed, I fasted, but you can raise me to the heights or cast me to the depths. The choice is yours. I am at your mercy.
I really think you ought to have guarded that heart of yours with a little more care. Really, Tartuffe, a man with your reputation for piety.
But why should you be surprised? Why? Why, I'm a man of flesh and blood. And consider this, your reputation would be safe with me.
And how is that?
Our secret would be ours. My reputation would protect us.
So, but aren't you afraid? Hasn't it occurred to you that I might tell my husband? And that when he knows, his friendship for you might be compromised?
It has occurred to me, but you are too understanding. If I need forgiveness for loving you, you will forgive.
You're right, Tartuffe. I shall not tell my husband on one condition. That you refuse absolutely any proposal that you should marry Marianne.
No, no, no! Amir, you're not going to keep this a secret to yourself. This is going to be shouted from the housetops. This is the end of Tartuffe.
Exit stage right. Into with Oregon. Just keep going on.
And here's Father.
Come on in with him.
Father,
Yes, my son?
I have something to tell you
Yes, my son?
about Tartuffe.
Tartuffe?
Dummy.
Yes,
Cross left, Tartuffe. Dummy. Dummy, cross left.
yes.
Be careful. Be very careful.
Be very careful. You can make me very angry when you speak of my dear friend Tartuffe.
But I want to make you angry.
What's this?
Father, just now, only a few minutes ago, I heard Tartuffe.
Demi.
I heard Tartuffe talking to Mother.
Yes?
I heard him tell her that he loved her.
Tartuffe loves us all. Isn't that right?
Yes, brother, it is true. Because I am a wicked, miserable, guilty sinner.
Have you nothing else to say?
Brother, you know me very little if you think that. But if you can believe your son's imaginings, I am a sinner as we are all sinners. Drive me like a criminal from your home.
Dummy, exit left.
What do you have to say to that?
What I have to say now. Okay, yeah, we can't leave it in there. Me, Father, after what I've told you.
Me, Father, after what I've told you, and Amir told you, you're going to believe him? His word against ours? To believe him before your own flesh and blood?
Silence!
No, no, no. Please, let him speak. I will deny nothing.
Oh, brother, brother.
Page 24, Father, Father.
Father, how can you?
No, it's Father, Father.
Where? I missed it.
Top of 24.
Top of 24. Father, Father.
Dummy, how dare you?
Tommy, how dare you?
Father, how can you?
Such strife between father and son, and on my account. Forgive him, brother.
Oh, I see it all now. You're all against me. Very well. Marianne's marriage will be speeded up and take place as soon as possible. Tonight!
You don't mean that.
Exit right.
Yes, it's quite plain what I should do. I must go away. I must leave.
You can't. You mustn't. My life here and hereafter depends upon you.
Can it be that despite my great desire to go, it is my duty to remain?
Yes, yes.
Very well, I'll face it. Oh, the sacrifices you demand of me.
There's nothing I wouldn't do for you. What can I do to prove it?
Nothing. As things are, there's nothing you can do.
As things are. But things can be changed. Let me think. I have it. I'll make you my legal heir. You'll not only have all my respect, but you'll have all my possessions as well. I'll make you my legal heir.
Come on, dear. Let's come and sit down. There you go.
Ah, my wife and daughter together. Splendid. My dear, I have something here that'll interest you. The marriage license for tonight.
Oh, Father. Have mercy. If I can't marry the man I love, don't force me to marry the man I hate.
If I'm not careful, I shall be weak.
Rather than marry Tartuffe, I'll go into a convent and live there the rest of my life.
Wait. Heaven, give me strength. There, I got it. My dear, get up, get up, get up.
Dear, may I say something?
Of course.
The man has laid a spell on you. How can you possibly refuse to believe your own family?
Indeed, no. I see how you all hate him. I saw how you believed all those lies Dami spewed.
Lies? What lies?
That Tartuffe was improper with you. If that were the case, you would have been much more disturbed.
Why? Why should I give it any importance by making a scene? Good heavens! If a woman wants to preserve her reputation, she can do it without calling upon heaven.
Words, 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 words!
Very well then. If I make you see that we were telling the truth,
See?
then you can have no objection to my trying to prove you're wrong.
Why should I have?
Do you mean that?
I do.
Doreen, ask Tartuffe to come here.
He's as crafty as a cartload of monkeys.
A man in love's always a fool. Run along and tell him I want him here, in this room, now. And you, Marianne, leave us alone, dear. Now, husband, first, if you will, get up at the table.
Under the table?
When Tartuffe comes, he mustn't know that you're here.
Well, I must say,
Under you go. And leave this to me. Good. And while you're under there, you must be neither seen nor heard. Do you make that promise?
my stolen word.
I hear him coming. I have your word.
That's not.
I hear him coming.
I hear him coming. Tartuffe? Tartuffe?
Tartuffe.
You wish to see me?
Yes, Tartuffe, I wish to see you. How foolish I was. I should have denied everything to my husband, but I was taken by surprise. So here we are, together, alone. Nobody else anywhere near. And now it will be my heart, and not my conscience, that will speak to you. Well, Tartuffe, have you nothing to say?
I listen.
Haven't I said enough? Has the great lover lost his tongue?
Every moment of waiting now is an agony. My blood runs through my veins.
Oh, Tartuffe, but I have one doubt.
Doubt?
None of myself, nor of you.
Of your husband?
No, not him.
Of what then in heaven's name?
You talk so constantly of heaven. How can we ever forget it? In the eyes of heaven, we are all sinners. Shall we be punished?
If heaven's all that stands between us, I can deal with that. Glory be.
Oh, please, Tartuffe, help me. I cannot just let myself go.
Oh, dear lady, with me you need have no fears. I shall initiate you. Nasty cough.
It's really nothing.
A little cough medicine?
Oh, thank you so.
But your doubts are over. You can be certain of this. No one will ever know.
Can I be certain?
Absolutely.
Then I surrender my love to you.
Oh, yes, yes. This is our very first run-through. Don't worry your head about him. He can be led by the nose. He sees everything and believes nothing.
So, what, led by the nose, eh? Well, I've seen quite enough, and I believe everything that I've heard. You villain. I want you out of the house, out of my house. You hear?
Oregon, I feel you're under a delusion.
Under delusion? I was under the table! Under the table the whole time, see?
You asked me to leave the house.
Asked you? I'm telling you, leave the house!
Nothing would give me greater pleasure.
Then we'll both be pleased.
But to leave is not possible.
Not possible, I'll show you.
Because the house is mine.
Yours?
Mine, and it is you who will leave. You and your family, Oregon. I'll teach you. Under the table, indeed. Such trickery, such betrayal of friendship, such treachery. You and your precious wife. You may remain here for the time being. Never before I've been so disappointed in two people.
Exit into the house. Father! Father! Is this true, what I've heard about Tartuffe?
I don't know what you've heard, but it's true.
Don't give it another thought. I'll settle this. I'll have it done.
Tommy,
Yes.
we're living in a civilized age.
Now! What's all this? A chair. What's this I hear?
Oh, Mother, you've come just in time to hear how I've been treated. I let him in. I treat him like a brother. I give him everything I've got. I offer him my daughter, and all the time he's after my wife.
Now you're as bad as the rest of them.
But Mother, I've seen.
Hold your tongue. Real goodness is so rare.
But I've seen. I saw. With my own eyes. Eyes, I'm going mad.
Listen, you ought to be making plans.
Do you really think he meant those threats?
Look what he's done already. What if he did?
Oh, if he does.
Cleante, why shouldn't we take the whole thing to court and just sue him?
It might be worth a try.
I'd be so embarrassed.
There, that holy man.
I've come to show you this writ. That's all it is, just an order to remove yourself and your family and all your belongings as soon as possible. Without delay.
I leave my house?
The house belongs to me by virtue of this deed and contract.
What's holy in throwing a man, his family, his loved ones, out of his own house?
The house is not yours.
You sanctimonious hypocrite!
To abuse others shows how little you have to say for yourself.
Can you forget that this man took you from the gutter?
Higher duty calls, and I must sacrifice friends, a future wife, and even my self-respect.
And how came it that this higher duty never showed itself until you were caught with Almir?
Officer, do your duty. Throw them out. What's this? This is an outrage. Officer, I demand an explanation.
I'm sorry, sir, that we've had to subject you to this unpleasantness, but we had to know how far this man would go.
I knew he was a dirty, slimy scoundrel the first time I saw him.
My fingers itch to take you by the neck and beat you up. And I'm a man.
There. Justice will take its course.
Yes.
Well, son.
This is an outrage.
Well, son, you should know better at your age. But then, I've told you so 1,000 times.
You made me so mad. Yes, you did, my dear. But I'm not going to scold you. A loving wife needs no excuse to love a fool or a baby or a real ninny.
What can I say? I give this young man my loving daughter. Heaven's blessings upon you.
Good joy to you.
Good joy to you and yours, and me and mine.